Hello students, in this session I will be covering Annamalai University's Master of Business Administration first year subject International Business. In this session I will be covering Unit 4, lessons 13 to lesson 16. Okay, lesson 13, in trends in Indian foreign trade. So we are talking about Indian foreign trade, that is exports and imports of India. Okay, one, compared to world exports, Indian export trade is one of the least one or worst one, and a desperate situation for a country, a bigger country like India. In 2010, the world share, the Indian share in the world exports was 1.4 percentage, but of the last few years it has even gone down to 0.75 percentage, 0.75 percentage, 0.75 percentage, and this is one of the worst scenarios India is first facing. And imports have gone or grown up to a significant level. So imports is more. So imports is more means more, lot of foreign exchange is going out of India, whereas not that much percentage of foreign exchange is coming to India. This is a very desperate situation as regards the international trade of Indian scenario is concerned. Okay. So every country would like to increase their exports in world trade or world exports, and try to cut down imports from world trade, okay, as far as possible. But this is not a always a possible solution. Items like crude oil is one of the highest imported item for India, and next comes the gold. Okay, and there are external and internal factors that determines exports. One of the external factors is rate of growth of the economics of the importing countries, rate of growth of the world trade, the rate of exchange in price level in the importing country are the factors for exports. And internal factors, the rate of growth of the Indian economy. So when Indian economy grows, imports, exports will be on a higher level. The rate of exchange in the domestic price level. When the rate of exchange in the domestic price level is low, people will, or manufacturing units or export oriented units will try to gain more and more foreign exchange and money, and tries to export more. Okay. Now, determinants of imports. The rate of growth of the Indian economy, high rate of growth is associated with rise in imports. Lot of materials, items needs to be imported from other countries for if the growth of the economy is high. The relative price of imports, if an increase in the imports is associated with a fall in the relative price of imports. So if the price of imports are high, then imports will fall, and if the prices of imported items are low, there will be more imported items on a equal basis, and if there is no curb for import items by the central government. Okay, there are various exporting countries in the world which has a major trade, like USA, Hong Kong, China, People's Republic of China, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, etc. Okay. Even Sri Lanka has got a percentage of exports higher than countries of export, India export, okay, to which we export. Major imports from various countries: China, People's Republic of China, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Switzerland, USA, Indonesia, Qatar, Iraq, Nigeria, Korea Republic, etc. South Korea. Korean Republic is nothing but South Korea. Okay. So these are the things covered in lesson 13. Now we will move on to lesson 14, export promotion and import substitution. Okay, every country, as I said earlier, they try to promote the export from their own country to other countries, different countries of the world, and they on the other hand will try to decrease imports or substitute import oriented products with some other products which are cheaper alternative, so which are available in the domestic area if possible, or from other countries, and tries to decrease the amount of or value of imports to their country. And this is may not be possible for all items, especially like crude oil and various other manufacturing or production oriented things. Okay, they try to substitute things as far as possible, but imports is not a fully avoidable thing, because resources are all resources are not available in each and every country, so that they can exploit the resources of the country. So import is always required for each and every country, especially developing and poorer countries of the world. And there are harmful effects of trade. While trade can be beneficial to nations and the world as a whole, it can also have harmful effects on some countries and the world as a whole, because this is not about exports but especially about imports. When imports are higher, as I said, foreign exchange flows from that importing country to the exporting country. So also the exploitation of natural resources in case of exports we talk about will be higher. Okay, in order to increase export, the countries will try to explore more and more natural resources of a country. Okay, and environmental problems such excavation or exploration of nature or natural resources will create environmental problems for a country and a world as a whole. Okay, and for exports, countries will try to give export incentives, duty exemptions, duty drawback, etc. to promote export trade from each and every country. And India is also one such country wherein lot of export incentives, export promotions, export drawback, etc. are happening. Duty exemptions, etc. are happening. Okay, and duty drawback is nothing but a certain percentage of the exported items will be given as incentive to the exporter. So these are the things covered in lesson 14. Now we will move on to lesson 15, export promotion councils. Okay, export promotion councils are those associations who promote, have been created or made available to promote the export of the particular industry, export items of the particular industry. Okay, something like subsidiary STC, okay, MMTC, Minerals and Metals Trading Corporation, Handicrafts and Handloom Export Promotion Council, the Tea Trading Corporation of India, Project Equipment Corporation, Central Cottage Industries Corporation, Cotton Corporation of India, etc. are some agencies which are in the frame of export promotion councils. Okay, and there are other councils like MPDA, Marine Products Export Development Authorities, are also available on various industrial areas, industries or business areas who are on the front of promoting exports. Okay, and every country needs one or another areas of exporting available, so that they can earn valuable foreign currency for that particular country. Okay, and these are the agencies who work on the benefits or the support of the central government. Without the help of the central government and the ministries concerned, no agencies can work independently. Okay, and there are various export promotion councils or federations or associations available. Okay. So these are the things covered in lesson 15, export promotion councils. Now we will move on to last lesson 16, meetings international standards. Okay, each and every country will try and thrive to achieve standards on the products they export. Okay, and this may not be possible at all times, because due to the natural resources or other resources available. So okay, and there are certain other things like logistic support, etc., who are all part of the export and import activities. Okay, when you talk about export logistic support, the airports, especially seaports of the country, are all should be well maintained, so that exports and imports can happen at all times throughout the year. Okay. And one of the exports area which India are on the forefront is the handicrafts and handlooms exports. There are competitions in the world exports from China and all, but Indian exports regarding handicrafts and handloom exports are one of the best in the area. Okay, and the handicrafts and handlooms exports corporation are one of those agencies or federations or associations who promote export of handicrafts and handlooms from India. Okay, their mission is to make available Indian handicrafts and handloom products traditionally produced in the remote parts of the country to all parts of the globe. That means world trade, as part of the world trade. Strive to achieve qualitative improvement in goods produced by the artisans, weavers and craftspersons in order to augment the credibility of Indian handlooms and handicrafts products in the export market. Okay. And there are other various agencies like CCI, Cotton Corporation of India, and other textile corporations available who promote their industrial products to the world market. So these are the things covered in Unit 4, lessons 13 to lesson 17. So we will see you in Unit 5, that is lesson 17 to lesson 20 in the next session. Now there are various questions regarding this. What are the agencies, how export promotion councils work, what is the comment on the exports and imports in the foreign trade of India, what is the position regarding this, etc., can be asked. Okay, and what are the roles of export promotion, various export promotion councils in India, and to name a few and explain a few can be asked from this Unit 4. Thank you. Happy learning.